Greg Anthony and Steve Smith. This is Kevin Harlan. We've got the Minnesota Timberwolves and the Miami Heat. And with pregame routines coming to an end, we're just about ready for our tip-off. First, though, let's get a report from the sideline and say hello to David Aldridge.
Well, guys, Karl Anthony Towns has a different disposition than his...
Outstanding, D.A. Thank you. Tonight, a battle of up-and-comers. It'll take a lot of energy, Steve, but also some mistakes.
Yeah, turnovers for young guys. That usually what turns the game around. And you can see the lack of experience. They missed their defensive rotations, and then when the game gets tight, they started to force shots. And it's fun to watch these kids grow up. But if I think of your coaching staff, you're trying to speed up their experience because it's probably not fun to coach when they're youngsters.
We've got a chance here to set the floor, courtesy of Gatorade, all fueled up and ready to go for this one. And so in the game for the Timberwolves, Gibson plays the 4 with Towns in the middle. Wiggins and Butler make up the perimeter. And it's Teague in at point guard. Waiters passes to Whiteside. Whiteside a screen. Dragic against Teague, 13 feet away. And that one is off. The Timberwolves go the other way with it. And he could not get that one to go. A lot of contact, and he'll go to the line for 2. That one's on Johnson.
What you have with Jimmy Butler is a guy who can guard 1 through 4, and sometimes even the 5.
And Jimmy Butler's a very physical wing, as we know, Greg. Goes about 6'8", 240, and he can D up almost any position.
And the strength to deal with forwards, the quickness to cover guards. Also, he uses that strength to attack the rim and get himself to the line.
He likes to work that in-between area, upset with himself that he couldn't connect.
No one near him. And the jumper is good.
And Teague knew that he would be open there. Great patience and vision from the point man.
For Miami, they've gone 0 of 3 from the field to start the game. And Waiters kicks to Dragic. Johnson the screen. Whiteside a screen on Teague. Here's Waiters. It's good from about 19 feet.
He's built for offensive outbursts. Waiters working on his patience and unselfishness, but the tools are there.
Towns the screen to the middle. Wiggins passes to Butler. That falls. Nice feed that time from Wiggins. And it's 7 points for Butler.
Heating up early on. This is exactly how he wanted to start the night.
Well, he has the ability to get you off on the right foot. Now it's just about sustaining it.
Remember back in 2016, James Johnson signed a make-good contract with the Heat. He's transformed his body, going from about 274 to under 240. And in the following season, they rewarded him with a 4-year, $60 million deal.
Here's Richardson. And that one comes up a bit short. For Minnesota, they've gotten their first 3 shots to go in for them to start off this game. It's stolen by Johnson. For Miami, they've gone 2 of 6 in the field. And for James Johnson, losing all that weight seems to have unlocked his versatile, high-energy game, Greg.
Yeah, and this lower weight, Kevin, this guy's a wall of muscle. You combine that with the greater mobility, and now he possesses an athletic advantage most every night he takes the floor.
Here's Richardson. Pass to Whiteside. Goes up again. And he hits it to tie the game up.
Maintaining focus through contact. When Whiteside does that, he's unstoppable.
Gibson the screen. Here's Teague. Another shot. And it's laid in by Gibson.
Fantastic positioning on that offensive board. Then right back up.
And Waiters kicks to Richardson. They get a hand on it. Butler with the steal. All going up court. And it's Butler with the jam.
The burst of athleticism of Butler is fun to watch. He is a tenacious dunker.
He'd have gone 4 for 9 from the field to start this game off. Dragic the pass to Whiteside. We've got a 9-second difference between the shot clock and the game clock. From 12 feet out, Dragic gets the bucket. There's 21 seconds left here in the opening quarter. Wiggins dishes to T. Richardson against Wiggins. And oh boy, a lot of contact there, but he gets the call and will shoot two. The Timberwolves have been perfect at the line so far, albeit just 2 for 2. First one falls for him. And the Timberwolves making a change here. And so he hits both. 7 seconds left in the first quarter. A floater. Good if it goes. Jimmy Butler has been on display for Minnesota. He finishes with 9 points in the quarter. The D is having all sorts of problems with him. We've got more NBA basketball coming your way in just a minute. The former #1 pick overall in 2015, Karl Anthony Towns.
Every single day we're thinking about how can we be the team that we need to be to not only make the playoffs, but to make it deep into the playoffs and give ourselves a chance of being a championship team.
One step at a time, Greg. That's the mindset to have.
Yeah, you can't have too much too early. But with Towns leading the charge, this team is in great hands.
All right, the second quarter beginning in just a moment. And before we move on, what do you guys think about what we've seen so far from the Timberwolves?
So far, they've been active, scoring the basketball, built up a little lead here, and looking good.
The play calling has been perfect, backed up by beautiful execution. They've certainly captured the moment in that first quarter.
So on the floor for Minnesota, down low, it's Jang and Towns. Derrick Rose is out there with Jones, and it's Butler in at the 3 slot. And the Timberwolves with possession here. Rose against Johnson. Rose passes to Towns. That shot is off. And it's Miami the other way.
And this was as even a matchup as you'll find in the NBA. Split the season series down the middle, 1 apiece.
Win one, lose one. This might be the case again for both teams this coming season.
Well, they weren't going to pass up that chance to get out and run following the steal.
Olynyk, a screen on Rose. Johnson kicks to Olynyk. And the 3 ball is good. Olynyk's got himself on the board with 3 there. So much excitement as we tip off the season. Steve, as a player, did you get butterflies on opening night?
No, Kevin, I remember my rookie year, that first game. We were playing the New York Knicks, led by Patrick Ewing. I mean, the butterflies were flying. And even in my last season, the 14th season, the butterflies were the same. It's something about opening night. It's just special. And no matter whether you're a rookie, you've been in the league 14, 15 years, those butterflies still kick in.
And it tells me you love the game, Steve, even as much your last season as you did in your first season.
And I think it also, Kevin, to add to that, you respect your opponent even in year 14, 15.
Now let's go to the sideline and catch up with our Hall of Famer, David Aldridge.
Well, guys, Hassan Whiteside continues to develop. Now, Miami coach Eric Spoelstra said it's got nothing to do with his stats. He's going to do that no matter what. It's about making winning plays and caring more about his teammates than he cares about himself. Now he can lead in a different way because he has the respect of the locker room. Kevin?
Terrific, DA. Thank you. Rodney McGruder's checked in for Wayne Ellington.
Taking advantage at the charity strike like he always does. Terrific touch.
Johnson can't get it to go. Minnesota leading by 7. Outside Rose. Towns wide open. Off target with the open look.
A high percentage look from the mid-range. Might have been surprised that he was so wide open.
Here's Magruder, defended by Jones. Here's Johnson. That's in for the first basket of the game after 3 attempts. Second quarter of play with almost 3 minutes gone. Well, Steve Bam Adebayo out of Kentucky adapting quickly to the NBA game.
He's been a sponge, Kevin. Plays the game with an infectious energy. He's a keeper.
Passes it to Johnson. No good on that one. Timberwolves go the other way with it. Rose in the post. He's guarded by Johnson. Rose, good.
And defensively, they are on their heels every time the ball comes inside.
Pass to Winslow. Olenek sets a screen for Winslow. And Gorgie Jang is going to pick up the foul. That is his first foul of the game. And a new group in for the Heat. Whiteside's checked in for Bam Adebayo. Johnson comes in for Olenek. Waiters, he's checked in for Justice Winslow. And it's Dragic in for Johnson. And then for Minnesota, Gibson comes in for Towns. And Wiggins is subbed in for Jimmy Butler. The Heat have shot just one free throw earlier, 1 for 1 in the game.
And if we want to take a look back, they converted about 76% from the line.
And he shows the focus there, nails the technical. Teague, he's checked in for Jones.
Yeah, you love the solid screen, but what you hate is just the inability to finish.
You can see he's frustrated with that one. Knows it's up to him to make that play.
4 seconds separating the shot and game clocks. Buries it from three-point range.
Nice follow through on the jumper. Dion Waiters looking rock solid that time.
Outside Rose. Gibson with the screen on Dragic. Rose dishes to Wiggins. With 2 seconds left. No good at the rim.
Ooh, that's the one when you watch the film back, he's going to cringe. He couldn't ask for a better opportunity.
And we're through the first half of basketball here, and what's been a good one. Timberwolves lead by 5. And a chance now to send it over to David Aldridge, standing by courtside. David.
Kevin, thanks. Here with Jimmy Butler. Jimmy, you have come a long way in this league. When you look at your career now versus when you came in, how different is it?
Much different.
Thank you, David, for that interview, and we'll see you back here after the break for third quarter basketball.
It's the 2K Sports Halftime Show.
Ernie Johnson here with Shaq and Kenny, and a favorite time of the year as we're halfway through one of the first games of this fresh NBA season. What a start for Jimmy Butler. He had 11 points and 1 steal. And Kenny, what did you see out there from the Timberwolves?
Well, they showed a lot of discipline on offense, called some high percentage plays. Even when the defense devised different looks, they always seem to have the answer. That's good coaching.
And over to Shaq. What'd you think about Miami?
The second half is gut check time for the defense. Allowing over 60% shooting is weak sauce. Weak barbecue sauce, weak Butterfinger sauce, weak sauce, period. The coach needs a light fire under these guys. If you don't want to do it, I'll do it, Ernie.
And now with the second half about to get underway, let's send you back courtside.
Well, both sides have assessed what they need to do over the break in halftime. We'll see now if one can pull out away here in the third. We are seeing a tremendous game from Jimmy Butler.
And they haven't needed a lot of shots to get their points. Just tremendous efficiency here in the first half.
What I love watching is they are working for high percentage looks and cashing in when they get them.
Richardson and Johnson are the forwards. Dragic and Waiters, they're the backcourt. And it's Whiteside in at the 5 spot. So that's who Eric Spoelstra starts the second half with.
Well, Goran Dragic was selected as an alternate for the All-Star game last season. But this Miami Heat team still lacks star power.
Whiteside a screen. Dragic the pass to Waiters. Back to Dragic. This one for 3. Good on the triple. Dragic has got 6.
Yeah, those are starting to add up, guys. Of their last 5 baskets, 3 have been triples.
The Heat are a playoff caliber team, but hard to see them really, Smitty, breaking through as presently constructed.
They have some quality young players, but make no mistake, they love to swing a trade for a franchise player.
They double him with Butler, and there's the call on Karl Anthony Towns. That'll be his second foul of the game. Second half rolling along now, about a minute played here. Whiteside sets the pick for Richardson. Whiteside inside. Towns on him.
and they're 1 of 4 here to start the second half.
And the length of Johnson really coming into play. Beats everyone to the ball, then right back up with it.
Gibson setting a pick for Wiggins. Outside Teague. Shoots a 3. Rebound by the Heat. And this game is done. They'll be off to Orlando, and they'll take on the Magic. And that'll be the first of a 2-game road trip for them. That ties the game. 9 points for Dion Waiters.
And the road back into this game wasn't a short one, but they've managed to make it all the way back and tie this thing up.
And this team, they trust each other. Even down big, they have the ability to come back, and they have so far.
And a new group getting ready for Miami. Adebayo is checked in for Whiteside. Kelly Olynyk comes in for Johnson. Winslow's checked in for Richardson. And Ellington is subbed in for Dion Waiters. And a change for the Timberwolves. Jang, he's checked in for Towns.
Well, Jeff Teague, one of the more calm players at the line, always looks to be in control.
Johnson, he's checked in for Miami. Smitty, there are a lot of funny guys that play in pro sports, and the NBA is no exception now and in the past. Who would you say is the funniest guy you ever played with?
Yeah, a couple guys, Kevin. There's some funny guys. I think one that stands out as far as just being a straight comedian, had guys laughing, was Ken Norman. And I think there's another guy that was extremely funny, but he wasn't trying to be funny, was Dikembe Mutombo. Some of the things Dikembe would say and do, it was just hilarious, and he wasn't trying to be funny.
And let's catch up with our sideline reporter, David Aldridge.
Well, guys, it seems every season new records are set for the number of three-pointers made and attempted. It's proven to be successful, and of course it is a copycat league. It's hard to know why it took so long for everyone to catch on, but now that they have, the effects continue to ripple throughout the league.
They sure have, David. Thank you.
Justice Winslow won a national title at Duke University. The 10th overall pick in 2015. He's a lockdown defender who can guard all 5 positions.
And some changes here for the Timberwolves. Dang comes in for Wiggins, and it's Rose in for Jeff Teague. And back in 2015, Winslow the top vote getter for being the steal of the draft, but offensive struggles have held him back somewhat.
Still gaining confidence in his outside shot. But what he can do, he can handle, he can pass, and he's a great cutter. They're still confident he can put it all together.
The shot's good from Ellington.
And it just seems that every pass they make is leading to a score. Just great ball movement.
Butler kicks to Gibson, and it's Gibson finishing it off.
I love how Jimmy Butler let the play develop, how he's learned to trust his vision.
Johnson dishes to Olynyk. Stolen by Rose. And finished off by Rose.
And guys, that's a big swing right there. I mean, taking the steal and then turning it into 2 easy points on the dunk.
No telling how important that sequence could turn out to be.
No doubt that could be a gigantic swing in momentum, given how that sequence developed.
And Lou Deng gets the whistle that time. That is his first foul of the game. Rodney McGruder's checked in for Johnson. 40 seconds left in the third. Deng against Winslow. Adebayo. Back to Winslow. A second chance effort. McGruder passes to Olynyk. Back to McGruder. Olynyk, a screen on Rose. Rose with the double team. Inside. Winslow's shot is off.
I appreciate the attack mindset, but with the defense tracking him down, it was probably better to kick that one out.
Here's Butler. Oh, and he just knocked down the buzzer beater.
And you can't end the period any better than that.
Yeah, I agree. Shot clock doing his thing. He times it out perfectly.
And that's going to do it for the third quarter. Minnesota on top. They're up by 5. And do not go away, as we'll be back in just a few moments with the start of our fourth quarter coming up next. And let's take this chance now to show you the State Farm assist of the game.
and he sliced the D wide open with his feed. They had no chance to prevent that basket.
Creating plays for others, it's an art form, but it's also a discipline. Fantastic job.
Thanks for joining us again as we get set for the fourth quarter. A terrific game so far. And a look at the five for the Timberwolves to start the fourth. Butler and Gibson, the duo at forward. Derrick Rose is out there with Jones, and it's Towns in at the five. Timberwolves leading by 5. Kicks it to Gibson. Back to Towns, and that one drops. Towns has got the fourth quarter going with the first basket of the period here for Minnesota. Miami's gone 3 of 7 tonight from three-point territory. Right side a screen. The pass to Dragic. Gets it to go from beyond the arc.
Goran Dragic is a guy used to having the ball in his hand. This time, he finishes on the catch and shoot.
Now here's Rose. Defense is right there. Here's Towns. It's good. This time the assist from Rose. Rose has got 3 assists now in this one.
Pretty much all of their buckets coming from inside the paint now.
Here's Dragic. He gets it in there. Dragic has got 5 points now in the quarter.
And we see this a lot with Goran, using his size and craftiness to finish inside.
Minnesota calls timeout.
You can see his wheels are turning. We'll see what he draws up here.
It's been an ongoing battle of adjustments, trying to identify your strongest matchup each time down the floor.
The Heat making a switch here. Waiters is checked in. And keeping us updated from the sideline, let's swing it over to David Aldridge.
Hey, Kevin, well, let's summarize what Tom Thibodeau went over with his guys during the break. He was pretty clear-cut to them. He said, look, we need to play with some edge out there. I don't care what the lead is. Do not back off.
Jones dishes to Jang. An amazing finish with a hand right in his face. And the Timberwolves lead by 6. And we've made our way through just over a minute and a half in this fourth quarter. And the jam by Whiteside.
Pretty tall point guard. Goran Dragic sees the entire floor. Terrific look.
And Zhang kicks to Dang. They get a hand on it. Pass to Zhang. Uses the glass to finish the layup. 1:57 left in the game. And the foul called on Tyus Jones. That is his first foul of the game. Whole new look on the floor for Minnesota. 1:51 left to play in the final quarter. Dragic kicks to Johnson. 6 to shoot, and Waiters has it in the corner. That's in there. Johnson with the assist. Johnson's got 3 assists tonight.
Waiters believes in himself as a shooter. Makes him more than willing to step up in big moments.
The feed to Towns. The kick out to Rose. And they come right back with their own three-pointer.
And the fans are so fired up after that triple that trimmed the lead at the other end. And now they are stunned.
Here's Dragic. It's rebounded by Towns. Towns has got 3 rebounds so far in the game. Here's Butler. Miami grabs the miss.
And definitely playing the opponent, but also they're playing against the clock.
I think that's the thing. You can't give away 1 second now. You're toast.
Wiggins kicks to Rose. The Timberwolves working the ball around now. Towns against Whiteside. Wiggins left side. Can't connect from 14 feet out. And Miami has possession. 6-point game. Here's Waiters trying to get open as Johnson. It's good. And now they trail by just 4.
Fantastic play by Dion. Wants the ball in big moments. Some people have the clutch gene, and some people don't.
There's 25 seconds left in the fourth quarter. And now they decide to foul intentionally. First free throw is good, and that puts them up by 5.
Rose has really accepted the responsibility of being the leader of this team. They look to him to deliver night after night.
And no mistakes there. Good free throws to give them just a little bit more cushion.
Timeout called, the Heat. They're trailing by 6. 23 seconds left to play in the final quarter. And now we've got a moment for our Jordan player of the game, Jimmy Butler.
And in terms of his shooting, this has been one of the more accurate performances you'll ever see. I mean, he's been in constant motion, creating a lot of good looks for himself. But still, even when you're wide open, you expect to miss some of the time. That has not been the case here tonight. This guy has made everything.
Feeds it to Johnson. Doesn't get it to drop for him. Towns with the defensive effort, and so they choose to intentionally foul.
No choice but to foul there, but he's probably the last guy you want to see on the line.
And a tough break is his second attempt at the line. No good.
And for a player with his size, Towns has always been very comfortable at the free throw line. And that's a good thing because he finds himself there quite a bit.
Here's Wiggins. Offline. And so Minnesota takes the win. This was a hard-fought, well-earned victory for him, Greg. They really had to work for this win.
That's a good point. I mean, weaker teams might have buckled at the end with the crowd amped up, everyone in the building kind of rooting against you, but they stood tall and pulled it out.
Well said. And now we'll send it over to David Aldridge, who is standing by courtside. David.
Thank you, Kevin. Jimmy, you have become a star in this league, big part of the team. Have those expectations put more pressure on you individually?
No pressure. I think I'm gonna do what I do each and every night. I'm not gonna play well every night, but I just gotta focus on me, this team. Can't worry about the outside influences.
A real leader, Jimmy. Thank you for your time.
David, thank you as always. Thank you for joining us. That'll do it for now. For David Aldridge, Greg Anthony, and Steve Smith, and the rest of our terrific 2K Sports crew, this is Kevin Harlan saying thanks for watching. We'll see you next time.